in a straight line. And cars have to kind of be aware that, hey, this bike might move. Like, everybody has to be polite.
Yeah.
Really, we're supposed to be polite Canadians, but sometimes...
Well, we are, but I mean, common courtesy doesn't seem to be that common these days either. We're not that courteous towards each other anymore, and maybe it just shows in this kind of situation we have between cyclists, Frank, and drivers.
No, I disagree with you. I rode here tonight, and 99.999% of drivers are extremely courteous and polite, and they give space.
99.999%?
I tell you, I ride year-round.
That doesn't leave much room for bad drivers,
It's very rare that I ever come across a driver who's impatient or nasty or aggressive with me. That's my experience, and I've been riding year-round for 20 years. And
I wonder if it has something with the way that you ride the bike and the way you pilot the bike.
Well, I ride defensively, but you have to make eye contact with drivers, and cyclists have to be very defensive. What we need in Toronto is complete streets. We need safe space for cyclists, for pedestrians, for transit, and for cars. That's what many European cities and
we got to separate them, really.
Separate them.
And not with paint, I think is what you're saying.
Well, yes, exactly. Ideally, like Montreal, they have a lot of barriers between the cycle lane and the cycle.
A very solid barrier right down the main drag, right down René Lévesque in downtown Montreal.
Because a lot of people, serious cyclists, perhaps like Mike and I, we ride all the time regardless, but a lot of people won't go on the bike lanes if it's just paint.
Yeah.
Well, and if I may
go
on that, one of the biggest crises in Toronto is gridlock and air quality. And the way to solve that is to get people out of cars. And the way to get people out of cars is onto bikes, but most 99.999% of the people that I talk to who won't ride a bike is because they're scared.
Yeah.
That it's not safe. And that's freedom of mobility issues too. Senior citizens should be able to ride bikes. Children should be able to ride bikes. People who refuse to use a car for environmental reasons should have safe passage.
In my ward, in Ward 18, 50% of people do not own cars and do not drive, which is a rather remarkable statistic. But the trouble is...
50%?
50%. That's on the Toronto City website profile of my riding. And I was at an all-candidates debate, and I asked for a show of hands who does not ride or drive, and like 50% put up their hands. It's rather remarkable.
Does that mean they all have bicycles, or
they take transit, or they walk, or they bike, right? You know, a lot of seniors can't afford cars, and there's no place to park it in downtown Toronto. Anyway, downtown Toronto was designed before the automobile was invented. It's pedestrian and bicycle friendly, but it's not car friendly.
Yeah. What about this private members bill presented by Sherry DeNovo? It'll go into a second reading stage, hopefully in the next session. Do you think that's a good idea?
I think that's a fabulous idea. Kudos to the NDP for putting that forward. I hope Dalton McGuinty supports it. A lot of United States and the U.S. and European countries already have this.
Yeah, it's hardly leading the pack. It just means we'd be catching up to where other jurisdictions already are.
Jurisdictions.
And explain exactly what it is for people who don't know. It's a 3-foot.
Cars have to leave a meter space when they pass a bicycle. It sensitizes people to the need to give bikes room to be safe. What our goal is to make sure that everyone, bicyclists, pedestrians, can get to where they need to go and come home safely without putting their lives at risk every time they go on the roads.
Yeah, okay.